You get mad when I ask what you're doing. Got me up all night, just feeling stupid. For wondering where you are.
I would say that around like 8 years old, I was already thinking that my life is going to be different, but my family is like extremely poor and my mom is just like a normal woman who was like raising me alone. So I always felt that something should happen, but I didn't know when and how. And I would say that until probably 21, I didn't even believe that my life is going to be big and different from majority of people. So I wasn't sure, and after 21 I started to blog, I started to dive deep into like business, and I was thinking like what can I do to actually change, because now or never. And yeah, after this my life changed. I went to the United States first time in 2017, and it was just such a weird experience for someone who lives like in a small Russian town. It was so big, so bright, so different. And after this, I felt like there's no better place on earth. And it was actually my first experience abroad at all, because my family couldn't afford like to fly or something like this. So yeah, I would say it was my first time when I actually realized that United States could be a place for me to live. But at this point, I'm not sure if I will stay there forever, because I've seen so many like nice and cool places I can develop myself as a person. So yeah, we'll see how it goes.
Make it feel fine even when it's not fair. I play my part.
I was always a child who didn't listen to anyone, so I was just going with the flow, seeing how it goes, and I just felt by myself that I have to live there. And I would say none of like my family members actually supported me, and majority of people saw this too big, too huge for us, and it's something just not something I could do.
Can't stop. Can't stop.
I would say that my grandma was always my like big example. She is a medical care working in a small town, like small military town in Russia. So she was always like a big boss. Everyone knew her in her city, and I always saw her as an example for me. But I would say I developed myself as a person quite a lot, because I wasn't that social as a child, so I had a lot of thinking process growing up. It wasn't my first experience. My first experience was Venice Film Festival, so at this point I kind of got used to the atmosphere. It's such a weird experience, especially when you see all of those actors you see in movies on like a daily basis, and sometimes I just don't even realize that my life is real and I can actually like have access to all of those people, talk to them, hang out with them, get drunk with them. So yeah, I didn't like, it just doesn't feel real sometimes. It was kind of hectic. Majority of times I've been to like film festivals, was twice. I actually didn't have any time to prepare, so I just found a stylist, a Russian woman who helped me, and I'm trying to work with Russian designers and Ukrainian designers as much as I can. So if I have a chance to work with someone who comes from like my country or like neighbor countries, I'm trying to support them. In case if it's impossible, I would go with like European designers.
You get mad when I ask what you're doing. Got me up all night.
I've accidentally met Kate Blanchett. I didn't know who she is, and I'm not a person who actually aware of like who was where, like in which movie this person starred. So I just don't know any faces, any names. So I can come to anyone famous and I'll be like, hey, what's your name? And I literally don't know who they are. And I think at some point it's something that helps me to like build connections with them. So I would say Kate Blanchett was like my favorite person I've met so far.
Feels wrong, sick of love, but not enough to stop.
I would say that I started to star in movies just like randomly. My agent called me and she was like, oh, can you please send an audition for this movie? And I was like, me? Like, what do you mean? Like, I can't do this. I have like zero acting experience. So I wasn't sure if I have to, and I wasn't replying to her like for days. And after this, I sent her my audition and I actually got into the movie. And after this, I started to build like, more and more contacts. At this point, as a Russian person, as someone who comes from USSR, I just feel that American movies and Hollywood movies are problematic, and it's just so unfair the way they portray Russians and Ukrainian, and it's something I think I personally can change. So if I invest in movies, I wouldn't invest it in two movies. Evil character is always Russian or Ukrainian, so if I'm investing in this kind of movie, I'm going to say no, and they would cut it. So at this point, they have impact, and I feel it's something that like I can do. I would say it's my main focus is to change the appearance, the perception of Russians and Ukraine in Hollywood movies.
To run from what feels wrong.
can't talk about majority of movies we're working on right now because they weren't released yet. But right now I'm working on a movie with Ed Bestwick, who is like my favorite actor since I was a child. His character Chuck Bass was just my love and go-to person. So now I'm going to work with him, and the movie we're going to release soon is going to be called Russian Roulette. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. Right now we're working on brand platform, which contains all the information about our mission, and I've decided to create a brand not because I wanted something more fashionable. I wanted something sustainable, not from the perspective of Americans or Russians or Europeans, but something that's going to be 100% sustainable from any perspective. So at this point, I think if you start any line, any brand, it should be ethical for our environment, or you shouldn't start it at all. So it was my main goal. And also, I don't like over-sexualized clothes for women. I think it's kind of disrespectful and just devaluing. So I want something that's going to be comfortable, cool to wear, and just fun for women themselves, not for men. It's hard to say. I would say that I like to support Russian and Ukrainian designers as always. First of all, because they have great quality. Second of all, because they actually have great designs that are going to be unique and no one else is going to wear it in the United States. So if I can go with local designers, I'd rather support them than big corporations.
What you doing? Got me up all night, just feeling stupid. For wondering where you are.
New York is such a hectic place, and I would say that for someone who comes from Russia, you expect United States to be such like a cool place, well organized and just like really good. And when you come to New York, you see like rats literally running on the street and attacking your own dog. So I don't know, I just feel like I'm matching the energy of the city. It's so random, so weird, sometimes kind of harsh, but so active, and it just matches my personality the most. So I started to work on Instagram as a manager of blogger. I found a girl who actually wanted to work with me, and I started to promote her online, and I started to grow her Instagram. So it was my first project, and to survive in New York, I think it's good to have at least $10,000 per month. But I would say for comfortable living, it should be 50,000+ per month. I actually have the most hectic story about my home in LA. I found a place and I sent a deposit to this place, and it was actually a scam, and my money is still in the court. So, but I bought an apartment in New York, so yeah, it's even better. But yeah, you should be really careful with laws in the United States because they aren't made to protect you. Sometimes the goal is to protect someone who has money.
I play my part. Why can't you just play this?
I would say that my main focus is to launch my underwear line, and after this I will just invest more money in movies. And one of like goals I've set it so far was opening an agency, PR agency with my agent I have right now, because she actually helped me a lot in my life, and I would say that it's important for me to give the same opportunity to more girls. I would say the main thing women should just keep in mind is that they have to be badasses. Like, you have to be strong, just have fun, be a rock star when it comes to money. There's like so many ways to earn money by doing something fun, doing something that you like, so you just have to find this way, that's all. And we have internet, it's so easy, it's so accessible, and it gives opportunity to so many women millionaires so far that it's time to do it right now. Спасибо.